Hi people, welcome back to my channel, and today I wanted to do something Christmassy because even though I have my tree already here and I got a lot of decorations everywhere in my house, and even though it snowed the other day, I still don't feel very Christmassy. There's not, I just, for some reason I don't feel the Christmas spirit yet. So I thought it would be fun to do a Am I the Asshole video and make it Christmas themed because nothing says Christmas more to me than family drama. So let's go. So this first one comes from r/Am I the Asshole? And it is titled, Am I the Asshole for saying I won't come to Christmas at my in-laws if I can't wear a hat? This is a pretty little thing, but maybe you guys can help me know if I was in the wrong. For context, I, 25 female, got married in November. My mother-in-law doesn't really like me, even trying to steal the spotlight at my wedding, but it's still overly traditional. At Thanksgiving, I was having a really bad hair day, so I wore a black leather cap, a dressier newsboy style one. And that's very Christmassy, so I don't see the problem yet, which my husband said looked great on me. The holiday was hostile, even more so than prior gatherings I'd been to. And hubby said mother-in-law said it was because I wore a hat. But I know it was just an excuse. I told mother-in-law I wouldn't come to Christmas with them, then blocked her number and Facebook. Oi. That's a very, very heavy response right away. Blocking her? She's your mother-in-law. Okay, so my husband is trying to keep us both happy since he doesn't like conflict. He wants me to come to one more celebration to see if maybe people are getting used to me. Okay, well, they should be used to you. You're married to him. Oh my God. He's told mother-in-law she needs to be nice and treat me as a part of the family since I am, and that if I feel unwelcome at Christmas, like I did at Thanksgiving, that we won't attend future events and she won't see him much anymore. I understand why he wants me to give her one final chance and haven't had any conflict with him. Marriage is about compromise, and I get that he doesn't want to cut her off since she's his mother. Sounds reasonable. But I just don't want to be involved with her unless I have to be. So, okay, this sounds like you do have to be involved with her because she's your mother-in-law, and you seem like a reasonable person. You are saying that you see your husband's side and that he wants you to give her another chance because of, she's his mother, and he doesn't want to just ghost them. He doesn't want to just cut her out of his life right away. So I think it sounds like there hasn't been a conversation with your mother-in-law yet about this. I think that it is a very good idea to talk about this openly and share both sides. You can tell your mother-in-law why you feel unwelcome in their family, and she can tell you her side of the story. Then you can give Christmas another shot, and if it's still that way, then you can decide to not go there anymore. But I do feel like it is your duty as a wife to at least try for your husband's sake. It is his mother. The overall vote for this one is everyone sucks, and I agree. So let's see if there's any nice comments. So top comment says, you took a situation that could have been a first step toward a less contentious relationship with your mother-in-law and made demands which intentionally antagonized her. Of course, you should be able to wear whatever you want, and your mother-in-law is being insane in this situation, but do you want to be right, or do you want to have peace in your family? And I think I agree with this commenter. Of course, there has to be a line, but is it crossed already? I don't think so. I think you can definitely talk about this with each other and move on to a happier life, which does involve your husband's family. And if they do not work with you, you have every right still to cut them out of your life. If they really do give you only bad times, why would you keep giving them your good times? If that makes any sense. Yeah, everyone's the asshole here. I agree. So let's move on to the next story. Am I the asshole for asking to spend every Christmas with my family because we already spent every Thanksgiving with my husband's family? This has come up a couple of times and I still haven't changed my stance. I did not grow up celebrating Thanksgiving, so I've been fine spending it every year with my boyfriend's, now husband's, family. I understand the sentiment of Thanksgiving, but it's not special to me. Before we were married, I spent Christmas with my family, and he either works a healthcare job or spends it with his family. Most of the time, he ends up working on Christmas in order to get Thanksgiving off. When he has to work on Thanksgiving, his family celebrates it on a different weekend instead. Without fail, we drive 6 hours to his parents' house every year and spend a long weekend with them. We got married a couple of years ago, and now I have a little one. I told him I want to celebrate all Christmases with my family since his family gets all Thanksgivings. He thinks this is unreasonable since I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. He wants to alternate Christmas celebrations between my family and his. I told him that's not fair because his family has guaranteed holiday time with us every year, whereas my family only would get every other Christmas. He said he would even do every 2 Christmases with his family instead. Okay. Christmas is my favorite holiday, and the main reason I want to spend it with my family is that my brother has 3 kids, so it's more fun. I also just really like to see my family on my favorite holiday. I think it's fair because husband likes Thanksgiving more anyway. Since he doesn't want to go to my parents every single Christmas, I asked if I can then opt out of some Thanksgivings and not go to his parents' house all the time. I really like his family and I overall have a good time with them, but I just don't enjoy the food or the 6 hour drive. I'm wondering if it's 6 hour round drive or 6 hours there and 6 hours back because that's a lot of hours. He doesn't want that either. His mom is aware that I like to spend Christmas with my family, but she has also commented that it would be nice if we make it at their house around Christmas time. Our families live in different states, so we can't really spend each holiday with both sides. Okay, that's unfortunate because I was going to say you could just do. So, where I am from in my country, Christmas is actually 2 days. We have Christmas Day and second Christmas Day. And usually, Christmas Day is spent with one side of the family and second Christmas Day with the other. And then there's also Christmas Eve when me and my husband usually just go and celebrate with just the two of us, our little family, and have Christmas Eve. And then every year we just see which side of the family gets which day so that, everyone is there. But I understand that. So my country is really small. So the farthest away that a family can live is actually 3 hours. So I get that if you live in different states, that's just not doable. Okay, moving on. So she said our families live in different states, so we can't really spend each holiday with both sides. My parents' house is 4 hours away. His parents is 6 hours away. And I would add an extra 4 hour drive to stop by their house if we were to also see them during the Christmas holiday. We both think the other is being selfish in our stances. Am I the asshole? I do not think you're the asshole. As you said, you already spent Thanksgiving with his family, which is, I believe it's in November, so it's only a month before. And I get that Christmas is very different and the feeling is different, but you can't have everything. And it is unfortunate that you cannot just go to both houses. You can definitely not do it in one day, but maybe there is a way that you could go to one family on Christmas and then the week after during New Year's you could go to the other family and do a Christmas during New Year's. And that way you still have spent it with both sides. Something else you could do, you could actually host Christmas one year, maybe all years. It is a lot of work, but you could invite both sides of the family. You could make your own food so you don't have to not enjoy that. As you said, you don't enjoy your husband's side of the family's food. So that way you are in charge of the food as well. And the more the merrier, right? So I get that it is hard to do this because you also have brothers and sisters that are coming to Christmas. And I don't know your living situation. I don't know if you would have the space to host that many people. And of course, it would be pretty expensive. But you could, of course, ask everyone to chime in a little bit, and that way both families get Christmas. You make new traditions, and I think it will be a lot of fun. But definitely, I don't think you're the asshole. I think you're right. I think if Thanksgiving only a month before is already celebrated with his side of the family, it is only fair to spend Christmas with your side of the family. I think, in my opinion, we don't have Thanksgiving here, so I don't know. I don't know what it would feel like, if you know what I mean. So there are edits to this as well. So let's go into the first edit. I and my dear husband are reading all the comments. Sorry if I can't reply to everyone, as I'll just be repeating myself. I see now that I am being selfish, since Thanksgiving is meaningless to me. We decided we will probably, one, start hosting holidays, see, like I said, and two, spend Thanksgiving with his family and another weekend or maybe New Year's or Easter with mine. Three, likely stay at home on Christmas and start our own family tradition with our little one. See? Okay, I'm glad that your husband and you are not having a huge fight about this, and that you can talk like adults about this, and also come to a compromise with this. I'm happy. This is a happy ending, but there is still a second edit, so we don't know if it's a happy ending yet. Let's see. Edit 2. Holidays are great because everyone, including extended family, are in town. It's easier to get time off with the holiday already built in. I also like seeing the little ones open Christmas presents. We have other holidays like New Year's Eve and Easter where my family members might be in town. Just need to coordinate ahead of time. We will still go to my family for Christmas some years, but I just won't insist on doing it every single year. As our kid gets older, then I imagine they'd want to open presents at home, as I did when I was little, so we might host instead. Or ask family members on both sides to rotate Christmas celebrations every year. We did offer to host Thanksgiving before, and we will probably insist more on rotating the location with his parents, siblings, if and when we have more kids. Thank you for your feedback. So it seems like this was a happy ending, and the overall vote on this one was that there are no assholes here, and I can see that because, Christmas gives a feeling, there's a lot of emotion involved, and of course you want to be with your family, but your husband also wants to be with their family. So it's, this is a very real problem that most people probably have, and I really like that this got such a happy ending. Let me read the top comment for you as well. When I had kids, my husband and I declared Christmas Day a no travel day. Our priest said there were 12 days of Christmas. Use them all. That's a smart priest. We didn't like that they would open Santa gifts when they have to leave right away, so no travel. Anyone was welcome to come by our place, always plenty of food, but we would be in our pajamas all day and it's a lazy day. We celebrated other days with family. So that's a great solution as well. You could just spend Christmas with only your family and only at your house, and well, people are welcome to come, but you're not leaving the house all day. So I think that's a great option as well, and I think that it is going to be different for everyone. Like I said, my husband and me, we usually take Christmas Eve and we have dinner together, and then there's, like I said, 2 days of Christmas in my country. So the first day we go to his family, the second day we go to my family, or the other way around, and everyone is pretty close by. So yeah, this problem isn't really a thing here because of that. So that's very fortunate for me, but I can imagine that it is in other countries. So hope you got some inspiration from this post if you are facing similar problems. Let's move on to the next story. Am I the asshole for skipping Christmas with my parents since they won't treat me like an adult? I imagine that this is a problem for a lot of people as well, because, parents can definitely keep seeing their children as their children, their little girl or their little boy. And okay, let's read this. I'm very intrigued. I, 27 female, have been with my boyfriend, 33, for almost 2 years now. We will be getting married eventually, but it's not a priority. Okay. My mom won't let us share a bed if we come and see them for any reason. Fair. No, it depends on the culture. Here, or at least in my family, that has never been a problem. But I do know that the older generation, so grandmothers. My mother, for example, still is not married to my dad. Never have been married. They're still together, but they're just not married. They've been together for like 30 years. But even when I was born and my brother was born, when they went to visit her grandmother, my dad and my mom were not allowed to share a bed, a room, not allowed to share a bed at all. My dad had to sleep in the living room, and you know, that's just some religions and some cultures. It's just not done to have a man and a woman sleep together in the same bed if they're not married. So I don't know. My parents did what my grandmother said because they were visiting her and it was her house, her rules, right? So anyway, let's move on. So they're not allowed to sleep in the same bed. When we came over this last summer, my boyfriend suggested renting a hotel so we could have privacy and a comfortable bed. It drove my mom nuts that we bypassed her idle, never heard of that word before, rules. She wouldn't drop it the entire time we were there. She made me promise not to do that again. I don't know. I think it's fair to get a hotel. I mean, if you're in her house, it's her rules, but if you're not in her house, it's not her rules anymore. And I think it's fair to be like, we sleep together all the time. Why can't we just sleep together here? And if you don't let us, we are uncomfortable, so we're just going to get a hotel. And of course, that does take away from being together because you have to up and leave to go to the hotel at night. But I do think it's a fair thing to do. So let's move on. My boyfriend's mom and dad are retired to Mexico and they are really chill. So we made plans to come visit them over Christmas. They are not Christians, so they don't really care when they see their son with regards to religious holidays. We didn't tell my parents we weren't coming. My mom asked me at Thanksgiving if I was going to hold to my promise not to stay at a hotel over Christmas. I answered truthfully that I would not stay at a hotel. Okay. So you didn't tell her that you weren't coming to her at all? Okay. I'm sitting here on the balcony of my future in-laws condo looking at the Caribbean, waiting for sunrise and enjoying the peace and quiet. That's beautiful. I love that. I made the mistake of going online yesterday and I saw a bunch of posts from my mom and my sister about how I was a jerk for lying to them about my plans. You were. That was definitely a jerk thing to do. You could have just said that you weren't coming for Christmas and that you were going to Mexico. Why didn't you tell them? That's pretty mean because they were probably counting on you. They might even, if you didn't tell them at all and they were expecting you, they might even be in a panic and think that something might have happened. Maybe you got in an accident or something. They might have been very worried for you. Why didn't you tell them? Moving on. I may have been a little tipsy last night because I decided to respond. I said that it was ridiculous of them to try and tell me I couldn't share a room with my boyfriend, that I was keeping my promise by not staying at a hotel when we were there, and that if they planned on putting everything on Facebook, I would be avoiding all visits for the foreseeable future. Well, it is a big move of them to put it online, to kind of pick a fight online. That's bad as well. Everyone sucks here. They took down their posts when people started crapping on them for trying to control me, but some people did agree with them. Now they are texting me and calling to say that I was an asshole for making them look bad. I asked them if they were trying to make me look good with their posts. They stopped for a while, but there were more texts and voicemails this morning. I'm kind of liking the idea of skipping out on drama from now on, but I miss my dad and he is blameless in this. Am I the asshole? I think you are definitely the asshole. I think your mother and sister were wrong for putting it online, but yeah, you are the asshole for sure. Edit. I'm having trouble wrapping my head around a couple of things that keep being repeated. 1. How was staying at a hotel so we didn't break her rules not the adult choice? I think that was the adult choice. I like I said earlier, that was fair. I did not mind that at all. That was fair. They might not agree with you, but it is your life. And yeah, you're 27, you can do whatever you want. I think that was fair. 2, how many of you guys fly across the country or drive for hours just to stay one night? I don't ever do that. Top comment. Info. Is there a reason you didn't just tell them up front that you would be spending Christmas with your boyfriend's family? They're assholes for trying to control you like that, but I don't really see what you gained by misleading them about your plans. Yeah, no, that's my question as well. Why didn't you just tell them? As I said, they might have been very worried for you because you didn't show up when they expected you. That was a mean thing to do. But someone replies to this and says, as someone who grew up with a family like this, not in the same way, but still controlling and annoying, I didn't let them know my plans this year and was a maybe the whole time until last night where I just stayed home and ate a frozen pizza. It was much more peaceful. I do get it. I do get that you don't want to go into the drama of your family, but you could just tell them that you're not coming, right? Why not just tell them? OP says to avoid weeks of my mom trying to manipulate me into going home. Yeah. Well, you could, yeah. That's on her. I think you could have just said it and ignored her manipulating you, ignored her calls, ignored her texts, messages, and still have let them know that you were not coming. The overall vote on this one was everyone sucks, and I agree. Everyone does suck. This was yeah, that's not fun. Okay, moving on. Am I the asshole for wanting a separate Christmas without my sister's kids? Oei. Oh, well, by that title, by that question, I would say yes, you are the asshole, but every story has both sides, right? So let's just read the story and see if indeed you are the asshole. I, male 28, have several siblings, all about my age. Only my youngest sister, female 25, has kids, of which she has 5. 5 kids! At the age of 25? Wow, she has been busy, damn. I have nothing wrong with my sister wanting to be a mom, and I love my nieces and nephews, but I can't be around them much. I have a medical condition that can cause seizures when I'm overstimulated. Ooh, that sounds horrible. And generally messes me up if I can't leave to decompress. When we visit our parents for the holidays, I'll hang out with my other siblings and their spouses. Then, when my sister shows up with her husband, I'll greet them, visit for a minute, then put in my headphones and go somewhere else when noise picks up. If it was a normal level of chaos, it might even be okay. I'm pretty fine with the adults laughing and talking. But she'll bring loud toys, turn on Coco Melon, and let the kids run wild. I can't handle it for too long without having to bail, and asking for things to be quieter is usually met with, ha, try living with this. Not very productive. No, that sounds horrible. Your sister knows about your condition, right? Why would she not accommodate your medical condition? That's crazy. That's not okay. Okay, it sucks getting to visit with my family for maybe 2 hours and then basically having to leave the party. I've tried catching up with people away from the group, but my sister takes it personally and keeps asking why I don't want to talk to her and her husband. She knows about the seizures. See? I just think something isn't clicking in her brain, even though I keep explaining why I can't stick around. Sounds like a bad sister. Last year we had bad weather, and my sister couldn't drive from out of state to come to the Christmas party. Most of us were already at her parents' place when she texted, so we just had the party anyway and planned a follow-up for them in a couple of weeks. It ended up being a blast. I actually got to stay for the whole thing. I didn't mind a bit that I had to hang out in the kitchen for most of the second party. I got the fun out of my system and was just happy to see my sister and meet her new baby. When my sister found out that we basically did Christmas without her, she was understandably upset. She and her kids still had presents to open and we had a nice lunch. But there wasn't the same adult party she hoped she could join. Granted, her joining the adults was her unleashing her kids and getting tipsy while our parents struggled to keep them from destroying their house. But I get it. Getting left out sucks. It does. That being said, I loved having two parties, and I asked my dad about doing this every year. While he also enjoyed the adults' party, we both agreed that splitting up Christmas would really upset my sister. Living out of state with that many kids is basically impossible for her to do both parties. We tried to think of other options, but most of us spend New Year's with our spouses, and my sister would be furious if she found out that we didn't invite her to a non holiday family party. I just don't think it's fair that I practically have to skip Christmas half the time because she has so many rowdy kids. So write it. Am I the asshole for wanting a separate party? Is there another solution I'm not seeing? So I think this is very difficult. So I do absolutely understand that you want to have your Christmas party with all of your siblings and your parents and, not get a seizure while doing it. But I also get that your sister wants to join in. It seems like you want your sister to join in as well. And the kids also want to join in on the Christmas festivities. They want to see their grandparents, they want to see their aunts and uncles. And it seems like you don't have a problem with that. It's just that they are misbehaving. So I think that your sister should definitely try and manage her kids better, for one. Two, if she is 25, none of these kids are going to be older than 10, I don't think. Probably not going to be older than 10. So it seems like they should be in bed by 9, something like that. I do get that it's Christmas, so they're excited and they want to stay up late. But I also think that it is a great compromise for them to come to the Christmas party and at one point go to bed and sleep so that you can have your adult party while the kids are sleeping. I think this is only fair. Also, something that could happen is that these kids stay with someone else. Maybe they can go to their other grandparents if they're still in the picture, if they're still alive. Maybe they can go to a babysitter, but that is kind of hard because of course everyone wants to see these kids wants to see everyone. I don't think that would be the best choice. I think the best thing would be for them to just go to bed early, and for the mom and dad, these kids have a dad too, right, for them to manage the kids better. I think you're definitely not the asshole. Edit. Thank you all for the wonderful feedback and ideas. I'm especially happy to hear of people with family members that have a similar condition and the kids have learned that loud noises will make Uncle X sick. That's a great point, yes. Of course, if there are 5 kids and the mother is 25, so I'm guessing that some of them are very young. But you can definitely tell them to not make too much noise because their uncle is going to maybe die. So okay, yeah, that's a great point. It makes me really hopeful that this will go away with time. I wanted to provide some answers to questions I'm seeing in the comments here for further context. My parents have been the only immediate family members in state with a house, so it has been the default destination for gatherings for a while. My older sister did recently purchase a house, so that might be on the table as an option. She might be open to hosting an adults only party there. Yes. But what about the kids? Where are they going? I live with one of my brothers in a small apartment, so our place isn't an option. I do not think my sister is a bad parent, just not a terribly involved one. That is bad parenting. If you're not involved with your kids' lives, they are going to be very badly behaved in their childhood and they are going to have a lot of problems when they're adults. So please involve yourself in your child's life. Thank you. There are lots of small kids in my extended family that I do not have nearly as much of a problem around. It is mostly the combination of a small house and lots of loud, unmitigated noises. That being said, she has abruptly handed me a baby on several occasions and just said thanks and ran away. That's so bad. Super convinced she does not understand the risks of doing that. What if you're holding a baby and then the baby starts crying and you get a seizure and you fall over on top of the baby? This woman is not thinking straight. Wow. Okay. I developed my condition in adulthood after we lived separately. Okay, so she might not be, she might not have a good understanding of your condition then. My sister has never actually seen me have a seizure, but we all gossip like hens, so news like OP is in the hospital again likely makes its way to her in real time. Likely, so you're not sure if she knows how bad it is. Maybe it's a good thing to sit down with your sister as well and explain exactly to her what is wrong with you, what your condition is like, what the risks are, and what triggers it, so that she has a better understanding and might be able to help you better with it. Okay. I do not want my sister to not be able to come to Christmas. Hell, I think her kids have an explicit right to participate and I love seeing them. I spent hours scrolling Facebook last year trying to see what cartoon characters and things they liked while I was shopping to make them gift bags. I love my nieces and nephews. Yes, I did crossed my mind while I was reading it. Like I said, I didn't think that you didn't want to see them. It's just that it is hard to be around them with your condition if they are being rascals, like they are being. I don't drive home when I am experiencing an aura/seizure. I will usually go lay in my parents' spare bedroom and wait it out. Sometimes this means I sleep there until nighttime, and when I am safe to leave, or the brother I live with will drive me home, and I'll pick up my car another day. Good. It's not specifically kids I have an issue with. If I can't bring earbuds to the supermarket, I literally won't go shopping. It takes a massive toll on my body being in any situation that's loud and bright and way too active, even if it doesn't cause a seizure. Oh, that's horrible. I'm so sorry for you, Whoopi. So, no, not the asshole. And I think it is a good thing to sit down with your sister. This was posted 214 days ago, so I hope it has been resolved and that next Christmas will be a great one for you guys. And hopefully your sister can hold back their kids and be a more responsible parent in the future. Let's do one more because I have to go back to my job. I am doing my job remotely today. I do not have that much time anymore, but I do really like doing this. So maybe I will do another one in like a few days or a week's time or something. So let's pick one. Am I the asshole for trying to prevent my wife from going on a tropical Christmas vacation without me? Yes? Let's see. Let's read the story. My 31 male, wife's 29 females, father unexpectedly and tragically died back in 2020. Now, that's so horrible. I'm so sorry for you guys. He was deeply loved by his family and friends, and hundreds of people mourned his loss. His absolute favorite holiday was Christmas. He was responsible for bringing the Christmas spirit to the family each year. Because of this, his absence has been painfully noticeable during the past 3 Christmases and has caused my wife's family extreme mental anguish. I can imagine that is so hard to go through. I'm so sorry. Therefore, my in-laws recently decided they would leave their cold home during Christmas of 2023 and spend a week in the Caribbean to forget their troubles. Sounds like a great idea. I would love to do that as well. My in-laws really like my company and I have spent the past 7 Christmases with them. I have been invited to join them on this trip, but I am a firefighter/EMT and it is impossible for me to leave my job for 8 days during Christmas. It will likely always be impossible for me to do such a big trip during the holidays until I retire. My in-laws understand and are saddened that I can't get off work, but have decided to still go on vacation without me. I can see the reasoning. It is your responsibility to be able to get some days free, even if it is during the holidays. So I know that I don't know where this is taking place, but it sounds like you might be American. And I know that in America it is very different. The work life balance is very different in America than it is here. I cannot really put myself in this situation because if I was a firefighter in my country and I wanted to have 8 days free, even if it was around the holidays, I could definitely get that. it might be hard to get that because, everyone wants to be free around the holidays. But talking to my colleagues and explaining the situation and explaining that this is a one-time thing, next year I will definitely be back at my job. I think it would definitely be possible for me to get a days off during the holidays, even if I am a firefighter. Firefighting, by the way, isn't a job here. It is run by volunteers. I don't know if that's actually true for everywhere, but I believe it is. I think it's a volunteer job, which might not be the best thing to have that, but it is what it is. And they have decided to still go on vacation. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Definitely think that's fair. I believe the vacation is a bad idea. It seems as though they're running away from their grief instead of dealing with it in a healthy way, such as therapy, which so far all have refused to participate in. Therapy is not for everyone. I know that there is a lot of people advocating for everyone to go to therapy, but I don't think therapy is necessarily something that will help everyone. And this is definitely a statistics kind of opinion that I have, because I know that therapy works for most people, but most people is not all people, is it? It doesn't work for everyone. And also, you cannot force people to go to therapy. But if they are very, well, I think going on a vacation with the family is also dealing with it, right? I cannot imagine that they're not dealing with it if they go on a vacation together to kind of mourn that. And of course, it is hard for everyone to have Christmas without him. Like you said, he was the big Christmas guy, so it is probably very hard to have Christmas without him. And I think going on a family vacation around Christmas time is a very good idea, and it is dealing with it. It definitely is probably going to give a lot of healing to some of the family members. So, okay, moving on. I fear they'll still all be miserable and sad on Christmas, but with the change of scenery. I think so too, and that's okay. The change of scenery will probably do some good for them. And it's just fun to go on vacation, isn't it? I originally tried to be understanding of this trip, but a very close friend, 31 female, of mine said that her leaving me behind was fucked up. Sounds like someone is meddling, which caused me to think a lot more about it. No, don't do it. No, 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 no. After a few weeks, I finally told my wife that although I knew she was trying to help her mother escape her sorrows, I felt somewhat abandoned and angry since she knew I would never be able to join her on this trip in the first place. So, it's not about you. Okay, ooh, sorry. I also told her that I felt that this trip was completely in vain and would not achieve any desired results. I think it would, man. I asked if there could be a compromise or if the Caribbean really was the only way to cure this sadness. You're so selfish. You're so extremely selfish. And you're letting some woman friend meddle in your relationship and try to create a rift in your relationship. Are you not seeing that? That's concerning. Okay. I was told that I should be more supportive, that this trip is just a one-time thing, and that there was no alternative solution to the problem. I said that I didn't like that answer, but was told that this was just the way things are, and there's nothing more that can be done. I should point out that I can and likely will spend Christmas with a very close friend and my father's family who all live nearby. So it's not like I'll be left entirely alone for the holidays. However, it's still a bummer to be left behind by my wife on Christmas for a non-urgent reason. You're so selfish. You're so extremely selfish. What's going on? And also, I still am not sure that you couldn't just get some time off. Okay, I also worry, of course, that this could turn into a tradition and that my wife might choose to leave the country each year, leaving me behind every Christmas for the next 25 years until I retire. you could definitely do something about that. I'm really sure that there's something can be done about this. I don't feel like I have any way to fix this problem. Okay. And I have no way to fight it except to say please don't. I I also feel like a real asshole for trying to stop my wife from trying to take care of her family's 3+ years of emotional trauma. Am I the asshole? You are the asshole. You are selfish. You are so selfish. What's the overall vote? Asshole. Yes. Okay. Top comment. Quote, it seems as though they're running away from their grief instead of dealing with it in a healthy way. End quote. I actually laughed out loud at that. Rest and relaxation is an unhealthy way to deal with grief? Seriously. GTFO with that ish. You're the asshole. Yes, exactly. This comment. I wonder if she is the close friend he's spending Christmas with. I am wondering that too. He didn't specify that. And I think that was on purpose. I think he is definitely the asshole. There is an edit, so let's read the edit. I should point out that my wife regularly goes on vacations with her family without me about 2 or 3 times a year. I am accustomed to that and am not jealous of her trips. This is not a jealousy issue. It's more about wanting to be with my wife on Christmas and feeling frustrated at her family for not addressing their grief for a death that occurred 3+ years ago instead of leaving the country on holiday. You're getting worse. You're making it worse. It's her dad. Everybody loved her dad. Her dad was a big Christmas guy. And now they want to spend their family time on a beautiful island to remember this beautiful man. And you are being a little whiny bitch about it. Please, please check yourself. that was that was definitely an asshole. So one thing I think that could be done if you really, really, really feel so bad about your wife leaving you for Christmas, which I don't think that this is about that at all. I think it's more of a control thing, and I think you're probably halfway into cheating with this close friend of yours. But you know what you could do? You could say, you know what? I'm not going to be able to get 8 days free, but I will be able to get 3 or 4 days, get them during Christmas, and go and spend a few days with your family and your wife in the Caribbean. And then, you get best of both worlds. You can still be there with your wife and for your wife and her family in this beautiful place, and you're still not alone on Christmas. Your wife didn't abandon you on Christmas. And again, I think your priorities are just wrong. I can definitely, if so, okay, say that you definitely cannot get that much free time. If that's such a big problem for you, maybe you should reconsider your job. Maybe being a firefighter is not for you, and maybe you should definitely get another job. Those were all the stories that I had to share with you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it, so I think I might do another one in the future. I'm definitely more in the Christmas mood right now because, like I said, family drama is definitely very Christmassy. So like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more from me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Oh, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!